I've got a couple. One was being Mr. Yusuf Hall. It's kind of strange, but in the year, my very first year at NUS, the competition for Mr. and Miss Yusuf Hall was a gender switch. So all the girls had to be up for Mr. Yusuf Hall, and then the boys would do Miss Yusuf Hall, and I decided to dress up as an abeng, and I won. Strangely enough, shortly after I won the competition, I left the hall because I was very involved in the theatre, and it was kind of hard for me to actually stay in the hall and be travelling to rehearsals every night. So unfortunately, Mr. Yusuf Hall left the building. The other memory I have is spending a lot of time at LT13, where I did lots of shows there and performances. And finally, I guess one of my favorite memories is of the NUS library. I know it's like almost nerdy to say that you have fond memories of the library, but I was astounded at the range of articles and books about the arts and theatre that I had access to that no other library in Singapore had. And so I spent a lot of time in there, researching obviously for my essays, but also just geeking out really on the arts and articles. Yeah. I would say what I prize most about what I've done in my career are the opportunities I had to tour and travel. So I've had wonderful opportunities to do productions that have had a chance to find audiences in Edinburgh, in Berlin, in Hamburg, Tokyo, across Japan. And that for me is really special because it's something which it's working with people from another culture and collaborating with them, but also the sense of pride of being able to bring a Singapore work overseas. So that for me is very precious. Another highlight was serving in Parliament. And you know, as a young person going into performing arts, into acting, it never struck me as a possibility that I would be in Parliament. And I know that before serving as a nominated Member of Parliament, it was a very intimidating thought, intimidating task, and yet I learned so much from it. And as much as I felt it was very meaningful to represent the arts community and talk about the arts in Parliament, for me, I gained a lot of insight and learning as well about myself, about how to engage people, about how to advocate on behalf of the arts. So that was a special period of my life. I guess being on a very important film like Crazy Rich Asians, I have to say must be one of the highlights. It's not just simply about being in a Hollywood film, it's being in a film that broke boundaries, that forged a path for diversity and representation of Asian faces, Asian actors in cinema. And I think that's something which I feel so privileged to have been part of. I think a lot of the work that I do today comes from a place of having received much from other people. So as a young person entering the arts, I was so moved by the shows that I watched. I was so transformed and changed by the productions I saw, that today, being in a place of being able to make art or produce art, I want other people to have that experience. I want young people to have that experience. It's kind of like passing on, really, you know. What's very close to my heart is actually accessibility. So I want art to be accessible. I don't want people to feel like it's too expensive. It's not for them. I feel art is for everyone. I feel the stories that are being told, the emotions that are being felt in a space, in a shared space, is universal. It bonds people. It allows you to feel less alone in the world, and it should be a gift to everybody. So I guess what I do now is, when I work in, let's say, on the board of Wild Rice, or when I do fundraising through Pasar Glamour, we want to give back to the arts because we want to make it affordable. We want people to be able to not feel excluded from the arts.